6 o'clock, we'll call our meeting to order. Sarah, will you do the roll call?
Lombardi.
Here.
Linda Barnhart.
Present?
Jared Goff.
Here.
McKenna Gordon.
Present.
Tim Lewis.
Present.
Daniel Gant.
Here.
Michael Bush.
Here.
Donald Truitt. Cordero.
Okay, we do have a quorum. Did anyone sign up under the, approval of the agenda?
Move to approve.
Okay, motion by Mr. Goff to approve the agenda. Need a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Lewis. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the agenda is approved. No one to speak under the sunshine law? Okay. Approval of the meeting minutes. I did notice a couple very slight typos, and I've mentioned them to Sarah. She will correct them. One of them is Mr. Barrett's first name on page 1, and fifth line from the bottom, John Hardy stated that the stated. And then we have under action taken, motion made by Eric Goff and second by John Hardy to close the public hearing. Mr. Goff wasn't here, so I think maybe Mr. Lewis.
Most likely.
Yeah, okay. So if you make those corrections, okay? Anybody else have anything? Okay. I have a motion to approve the minutes as corrected.
So moved.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Bush, second by Mr. Lewis, to accept the meeting minutes as corrected. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain due to absence.
Okay.
Abstain due to absence.
3 abstentions by Ms. Norton, by Mr. Goff, and Mr. Gant. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the meeting minutes as corrected are approved. We have 6 public hearings, I believe, this evening. First one is Nadenbush Pines, Phase 3.
Excuse me, yes, this is a request for reconsideration. The project is Nadenbush Pines, Phase 3, lots 46 through 53 and 59. The file number is 2506-179, and it's tied to 2412-399. The developer is ILA Properties Incorporated. The surveyor listed is Roberts Land Surveying. It's located in the Arden District, map 19, parcel 3.2. This project is located on Nadenbush Lane, approximately 1 mile east of its intersection with Winchester Avenue. This final plat proposes 9 single-family lots on approximately 3.31 acres to be served by public water and sewer. The developer is requesting a reconsideration of the Planning Commission's decision at the May 19th, 2025 meeting to deny the Phase 3 final plat. At the May 19, 2025 Planning Commission meeting, residents of Nadenbush Pines spoke out at the Phase 3 final plat public hearing in disapproval of the project. The issues they discussed pertain to the existing Phase 1 and Phase 2 areas. The Phase 1 final plat was approved July 6, 2020, and the Phase 2 final plat was approved on December 7, 2020. Residents referenced a Berkeley County Public Service Stormwater District inspection from January 9, 2023. During their testimonies, on May 28, 2025, a field inspection by the Berkeley County Public Service Stormwater District was conducted stating issues with stabilization, site debris, and sediment controls. On July 16, 2025, the Stormwater District conducted a follow-up inspection for phases 1 and 2. The only issue stated by MS4 Coordinator Zach Norris is we cannot determine adequate drainage of the 2 stormwater easements located on either side of Briarcrest Circle due to dense vegetation. Pictures, I believe, have been provided from Mr. Norris's inspection and were attached to a packet that you have received this evening. I believe they show where the conveyance channels have been seeded and strawed with grass starting to germinate as well as the dense vegetation in the 2 stormwater easements. The existing ponds in Phase 1 and 2 are still operating as sediment basins and cannot be converted into biodetention ponds until Phase 3 is completed and stabilized. Until then, these ponds will operate as wet ponds. As for the 2 stormwater easements with dense vegetation, the newly retained HOA management group and the property owners will need to come to an agreement for maintenance of those areas. The county currently holds bonds for Phases 1 and 2, $330,684 for Phase 1, and $182,960.70 for Phase 2. As-built will need to be submitted to verify that the subdivision was constructed according to the approved 2018 plan change. Any issues that arise from the as-built review would need to be addressed prior to those bonds being reduced or released. Based on the information provided to us from the developer and the Stormwater District, staff recommends approval of request for reconsideration, thus approving the Phase 3 final plat, contingent upon receipt of surety for $60,699.60. Plat to be released upon receipt of surety and developer's agreement.
Thank you. Do we have anyone to represent the project?
Trevor Lloyd, ILA Properties.
Thank you. Okay, this is a public hearing. It basically mirrors what we had at our last meeting. We do have a big packet that was submitted to us by Mr. Norris, and according to the staff report, it appears as though 99% of things have been resolved. But it is a public hearing. It's your opportunity to make your comments known. If you made comments at our last meeting, they're part of the record. Please refrain from making the same comment that you made at the last meeting. Okay?
Good evening, everybody. So I was here.
Your name?
Oh, sorry. Robert Wickham. I reside at 33 Broadcrest Circle in the Naden Bush Pines community. I'm sure you all may remember, as we did take up, I think, 45 minutes of the last meeting, so we'll definitely try to keep it shorter this time. So as you mentioned, we spoke here on May 19th. So I did want to address some timelines as well as some remaining issues. So first, of course, we met on the 19th. We discussed various issues that you've identified, and the builder was supposed to take action on some of those. It took 3 weeks for the first course of action to happen, and that was removing the black erosion barriers. I'm sorry, I don't remember the specific name, but remove those from behind some of the properties, which they just cut those open, laid the mulch in the culverts, and removed the mesh from the area. About 3 weeks later, if you all remember, we had anywhere from 95 to 105 degree weather. It was the week of June 24th and 25th. It was at that time that the builder decided to put down some soil and some seed with some hay over top of it, with no watering system or anything else like that, along 2 small sections of Sanibel, which is the main drive into the community. During a heat wave, of course, it's kind of difficult for grass to grow. There has been some weeds growing in the area and minimal grass growth. I will admit that there is some, but that doesn't really have much impact on the stagnant water that still remains. Around July 2nd is when we took notice that the new posting for today's meeting was put out front of our community. So, of course, some of our community members started talking. It wasn't until the 17th, which was last Thursday, that a company came out and started cleaning the culverts. So 2 months, actually just shy of 2 months from the last hearing, is when the builder finally decided to take action on clearing the culverts. It took 4 days for this company so far to work through 2 of the community areas. There is definitely still some area that we can see that needs to be cleaned. That's just the basic time frame in the last 2 months of the, in my opinion, lack of action and only moving when necessary for reconsideration. Some issues that we did notice that we wanted to address. I know, of course, you asked for non-repetitive, but being as there was some action taken, the culverts, while they have cleared most of the trees and they have finally started to cut down some of the debris, there are still large piles of cut grass. There are trunks of the trees that had grown in the area. There is just behind my house alone, I'd say every bit of a 50-foot length of stagnant water that's 1.5 to 2 inches deep. That's not what the culverts are designed for. The water's supposed to flow from behind the culvert and drain out. So the first question is if that is still on the plan to be fixed, but also what is the movement forward? You did mention, of course, that there was a management company. As you remember, that was brought up in the last meeting, but we have not heard in the last 2 months any mention of a management company. Nobody in the community has been contacted regarding this. So I'm very clueless in terms of what that is. And then in terms of meeting with them to discuss how the culverts are maintained, until we know who they are, we can't hold those conversations. One thing, I did meet with Zach and Chase on I think it was the 15th of this month, so last Tuesday, to go over the same report, the May 28th report that he provided to you. He did cite, especially in the back of the report, which to my understanding, you all have, the various areas that still need to be improved. None of those have been touched, short of some of the shrubbery being taken down and some of the mowing having taken place. One thing he did mention specifically, whoever you're standing there, he was swatting away gnats and things of that nature, bugs that typically are around stagnant water and things of that. He also mentioned that, one of the stormwater compliance issues is the 70% coverage of grass on the properties in order to help with erosion and things of that nature. Now, Phase 1 and Phase 2, as you all have described, are the houses that we all live in currently. They were seeded and hayed upon being built. Many did not get any follow-up from the builder after that. The last few houses that they built have been provided with full backyards of soil, sod. It was all being watered while the houses were completed. So, of course, those lawns look absolutely lovely because they have 100% coverage because they have sod. There are still a number of the individuals in the community that are still fighting for some type of coverage, reseeding, anything like that. A lot of these properties that were covered in soil are now just shale because everything is run off because there was no possibility to avoid erosion when we had no grass to stop that. To tie back into the management company that is supposed to take over this HOA, and just kind of a thing that I was a little confused on. So these new houses that was the same as last meeting.
No, sir, that's your 5 minutes.
I didn't have a time frame last time. Is there a time frame allotted
Well,
now?
there is always a time frame. We were generous with it the last time, and it went on and on and on, not just you, but other people, but
Absolutely
that's the
understand.
5-minute time.
Okay, can I finish this last point if that's okay?
Yes.
I'll be very quick with it. So the HOA that the builder had set in place had a significant amount of rules, one of which was in regard to fencing and things that the homeowners were allowed to put in place. The rules specifically stated nothing beyond a 4-foot fence. All of the new houses that he's sold, 3 of them were provided with 6-foot fences, which is in breach of the contract that he made the rest of the neighborhood sign. While I personally don't have any issue with that, I just think it calls into question why the builder would create rules and then go against those rules for new homes that have been provided. So you have the stormwater report. That was my last bit. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else wish to speak?
Make a motion to close public hearing.
Okay, let the record show that there's no additional comments. A motion by Mr. Gant,
Second.
second by Mr. Goff to close public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is now closed. Mr. Lloyd, would you like to address some of the things that have been brought up?
Trevor Lloyd, ILA Properties. First of all, I'd like to thank you for reconsidering this application. At our last meeting, as that gentleman just said, there were some concerns that we needed to address. You are already familiar with them. There's no need to rehash them. I believe it was you, Mr. Bush, that asked if there was anything that we could do. All right, and I said yes. There are things that we can do, and after we were able to assess what needed to be done and get mobilize the manpower and the equipment and everything to do it, we went and we did reseed the roadside ditches. The grass is growing. It did germinate. It is growing. There were a couple of items from the MS4 from Zach and his crew that we did address, and most recently, as recently as last week, they gave us a grade of A on our erosion and sediment controls, silt fence, garbage cleanup, so on and so forth. And then also recently, and I did not get pictures of this I couldn't get them in time to get them into your packet, but the ditches on either side of Briarcrest, they did have, this is the before, this is the after. So we did do those. And then the other ditch looks very similar. And then also, yes, I believe I did add the letter from the management company that is taking over the HOA, and that was effective as of July 1st. I'm personally not privy to exactly, when people will receive the notifications or in their mail. I just know that has been established with that company. We feel at ILA Properties that we have fulfilled our obligation in these matters, and we request approval for Phase 3 final plat. I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. Thank you.
Planning Commission members, do you have questions of Mr. Lloyd?
Maybe Mr. Lloyd and Mr. Smith, if 70% stabilization is a problem and it hasn't been met yet, maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. Am I correct in that's an issue that comes back at the stage for request for bond reduction?
Right. So the order of events there is that I would apply for a notice of termination or an area reduction from the DEP, and the DEP will issue that or not issue that. If it is, and that is the requirement. That's where that requirement comes in at. If it is met per inspection, and I have that area reduction, then I apply for a bond reduction to the staff. And that's when Mr. Smith asks for, hey, do you have an area reduction or notice of termination from the DEP? And then that is a requirement on his end.
You may have to speak up, Mr. Smith.
As in, was established and now is not?
That could have been, and that has happened.
Yeah.
We have sent, the developers have requested out at one time. There was one that you know of. It was established that it did have 70% vegetation. They had to do a re-review. In that time frame last year, we had the drought. There was no water put on it. Basically, all that grass had died and I don't know what the case is. Zach and I have looked at it. I don't think it's bad. But it all, like I said, it depends on, where that comes from is the MPDS permit, the DEP. They deem it established, then we move forward with that. Because that's their permit, it doesn't belong to us. MS4 in the county, we follow that unless we find reason to disagree on other issues.
And I think, I'm going to paraphrase, I think the comment from this last hearing was, it is not uncommon for the county to be presented with a situation where there's a request for bond reduction, but what's left is a muddy mess upstream. I think those were the exact words. Is that what we have here?
Well, I mean, one, they cannot do anything with the two basins that are in phases. They can't, they're connected to the root area after the rest
Right,
of the subdivision.
right.
So if I make him put the MS4 biomedium in there and convert the pond saver, I'm only gonna be forced to have him re-excavate it completely and start over again before we ever release anything. So the wet ponds will have to stay. It's not an ideal design or construction procedure, but it is what it is. A lot of these subdivisions were made to go back. The MS4 water quality permit, they were made to go back and modify plans. It wasn't like they were subdivision. Some of them were. It was an add-on.
I would also like to add on to that, we're not applying for a bond reduction right now. We're just applying for the
Understood.
Phase 3 final.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I understand the process. Yeah, good point. Thank you.
But yes, we have had the occasion where DEP has went at one time, when the developer applied for the area reduction or NOT for DEP. By the time DEP went out 3-4 later, it was gone. If it wasn't watered, if it was getting grown grass, had bad storms, it washed the sea. I don't know that that's exactly what happened here. All I'm saying is, from our standpoint, we looked at the roadside ditches and what was this understanding that that's been 5 years ago. That was started. Asked them to address that. We did ask them to address the thing. Could be addressed. Any remaining drain, whatever, we'll work with ILA. Clean those up. We still do hold the bond. No one has presented me with the bill or all the paperwork for me to even consider a reduction.
Yeah, and I think from last meeting, the comment was that all the new culverts have been designed as built. There are some discharge issues. It sounds like those are being addressed and will continue to be addressed.
And we can't, and as he was saying, I mean, I'll be doing the as-built, but I can't do those until Phase 3 is stabilized and complete.
Thank you.
Additional questions, planning commission members? Okay, if there are no additional questions from the planning commission, of Mr. Lloyd or of Mr. Smith, or the staff, I'm ready for a motion.
I make the motion, we accept staff recommendation. Approve the final plat contingent upon receipt of surety $60,699.60. Plat to be released upon receipt of surety development agreement.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Gantz, second by Mr. Bush. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, the next public hearing is Bellwood, Section 3.
Yes, this is a request for final plat approval. The project is Bellwood Section 3, Phase 2, lots 37 and 39 through 41. The file number is 2505-136, tied to 21-02. The developer is CBS Builders, LLC. The engineer is Fox and Associates. It's located in the Opequon District, map 16, parcel 76.32. The property is located on Stormfield Drive, west in the Bellwood subdivision, approximately 600 feet south of Plymouth Drive and southeast of Shepherdstown Road. The project proposes 4 residential lots on 4.9 acres to be served by well and septic. The final plat meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance 2009. Therefore, staff recommends final plat approval contingent upon receipt of surety in the amount of $28,560. Plat to be released upon receipt of surety.
Do we have anyone to represent the project?
Good evening, Steve Sianovich, excuse me, with Fox and Associates, representing the project.
Okay, thank you. This is a public hearing. Questions and comments regarding Bellwood, Section 3, Phase 2.
I gotta sit down. I got to take new diabetes medicine. It's kind of getting dizzy. My
Okay.
name's Roger Johnson.
Okay.
And I had some questions for both. The pond, the existing pond that's right beside it that I built. Roger Johnson. I built that pond, and it's been come back in my name somehow, and he doesn't own it now. And I've been trying to get a hold, asked him a couple times, come up to the house and let's get it taken care of. And he won't do it. He
Who
hasn't
is
done it.
he?
Brian, the
Who?
owner of the property,
What's his name?
CBS, Brian Smith.
Brian Smith, okay.
The pond is in my name. I don't know why. Is it some way they did the roads? I mean, I know the roads get flipped over, no problem with them, but it seems like always the ponds are in somebody else's name or get repossessed or, somebody buys them. And right now, I think I have like a month to repossess it and put it back in my name. And I'm the only person who can do it. And it's like $1,000. And I got a restaurant letter from them about 3 months ago. And it was for $900 or almost $1,000.
He's talking about property taxes.
Yes, sir.
Somebody's-
Property tax and repossession. And I think property tax is only like $2 or $3 a year. It's very intermission. It's hardly nothing. But I think the rest of the stuff is.
Go online, you don't pay your property taxes or they're late. People can buy these things online. The resisting pond was in phase 1. You're going down the hill.
No, it's not turned over to HOA, and plus it still has to do with these lots. All that water is going in that pond, and plus he's got to put the I don't know how to show you all these, but right here it shows going down the drain here, going into my pond. All these roads up here, all the roads coming in. The first 3 lots go into this pond, plus the back of all 3 lots or 4 lots he's bringing in. The only thing that goes around towards the other pond is the road. The water comes off the road in the culvert. But the lots go right back to my pond. Or, the one I built, not my pond, you know what I mean. But that's where all that water goes. Plus, he's got to build a run-in, put rocks in and everything, paper underneath of it for the well. That still needs to be built too. I didn't see that anywhere in a lot of stuff I couldn't pull up on the internet because it was, I don't know, my computer wasn't working, like the minutes and stuff. And then some rock dams never put in back through there. They were put in one time, but not there anymore. But that's one thing. So it's in my name. I don't know how that would work. I don't know how that would, what do I pay to get back? He gives me money, or how it works on that. I had a couple times in Martinsburg. I had a pond where the county or where they repossessed it and everything. But and the way we got set, the way we set the homeowners association, the developer must have control of it all the way to the end. That way he can design the house. If he turns it over to the homeowners association, then they'll say, well, you can't build, we don't like that house, you can't build it. Because that's the way it's set up. Developer. So most of the last maybe 2 or 3 lots, the homeowners association doesn't have it. So Brian's actually taking care of snow removal and collecting the fees and all that. That's the way I did it, turned it over to him. So that pond doesn't belong to him now. And all 4 lots he's bringing in today go into that pond. But for the road part, the run off the road. But now coming down the hill, the first 3 lots on the top, coming into development, the first 3 lots on the left. And that's another thing I don't understand, is how he can skip 3 lots and build down here in 4 lots and don't put no bond. He's got bond on 18, 19 lots. Those 3 lots, he don't have no bond. Well, heck, that's the road going to these 2 parts. But wouldn't you think you have to have bond to put grass and pave the road on those 2 lots he's not bringing in now? But you're skipping them. That's 21 lots total. And 2 lots, 2 here's some, you know what I mean, he's just skipping them. Like when he comes in, he's got 4 lots on the right, and he's skipping 2 lots here, and then picking up 4, then wants 4 more to come in. And he doesn't have no bond on them 2 lots. I mean, you know what I mean. It just doesn't seem right. It does. I mean, I didn't think that's the way it worked. And that's why I want to talk to you. Does anybody have anything to do with what I should do about that, or is there something we get back to later on the stormwater pond, or has anybody ever had that trouble before that?
Sure, I can talk to you about it.
Okay.
Mr. Delgado is our legal counsel.
Okay, I went through it before, and sometimes we paid it and turned it over, but it's changed a lot in the last couple of years how it's done. You know, it's supposed to be, they need to do a little bit more work on the stormwater ponds, you know, make sure they don't get turned over or somebody doesn't pay the property tax on them. And then in the new part, which I'll call in section 2, I was telling you about skipping over them lots. And I guess the engineer can explain to me how that goes. You know, and all them lots go into that pond. He said it didn't have anything to do with it, but it does. And where you can see there's actually a 10-foot right of way, you know, going the road, you know, going right into that pond. And then all them lots, if you look at the runoff, the topo, all them lots are going into that pond. The rest of them go into the pond that he's building. He hadn't done any of the DEP work on the development. He hadn't done anything. No silk fence, no rock dams, a few of the things. He hadn't done anything. There's not a silk fence out there. Every house he's built there has never had a silk fence. I have never seen a silk fence, but when I did it, I had to have my silk fence in before I got a building permit. When the inspector came out and I didn't have my silk fence in, I didn't get approved for the footer. And he's built 3 houses out there right on a slope like this. You know, so you know they need it. And plus the development, I talked to the DPA, Maryland. They're supposed to be coming out the next couple of days. I called the county, they said everything's fine. We've been out there every 2 weeks and everything's fine. I talked to me, and I got a plan here, but I don't have the new update because I couldn't download it. I got the one I did. But it shows silk fence all the way around the outside perimeter of the side, plus 3 or 4 other places. There's no silk fence in this. And another thing, Fox, I guess he took over somebody, Pat Magna was doing the rest of it. That's fine. He can get anybody who wants to you know, do the rest of the development. But I think they should have to come out and survey it and see what's going on. And I've seen the plat where it says this, I guess this typo, but it's got where his surveyor signed it, and it says to pass the codes of the city of Martinsburg on it. And it's in Pekin District. And I noticed on the last plat y'all turned in, it had Garristown District, and it should have been a Pekin District in the plat. I know these things, they can change. But it looked like he had to be surveyed, because I know when I did build the pond back there, I knocked out 3 or 4 stakes when I was rock hunting and planting grass, and it pulled up 3 of the property corners, and they're not in. So how some of my time's up. But those are a couple of things I want to talk to and about.
Okay, well, Mr. Delgado's going to address some of the things about
Yeah.
the ownership.
Yes, sir. What happened was when we sold it, I thought it was in there. It says stormwater ponds, but actually, it was actually a lot. You know, it was actually the stormwater pond was called lot, and when he named them all, he just named lots, and I didn't catch it at closing, which was 2 or 3 years ago. But I didn't catch it, and I didn't get no taxes or anything on it. Usually, I get taxes the first year. You know, then I have to send it to the new owners. Whenever I sell a house, they all send taxes, but I never got no taxes on the stormwater pond, and like I said, I'll talk to him about that. But I just wondered about these 2 lots, skipping 2 lots, because I mean, that bond should be put up, because I mean, that's part of the water, you know, that's part of the road. I mean, what are they gonna do when y'all foreclosure doesn't finish, you come back, you don't have a half road paid, no bond for half the road going to these other lots in development.
Okay, you've made your point. Let me ask Mr. Stianovich if he has any response to Mr. Johnson's query.
I really don't have a response, but one thing I want to really state a couple of findings of fact here. The reason we're here tonight is for a final plat for lot 37 and then 39 through 41. On the plat that's included in your packet, the existing stormwater lot that Mr. Johnson spoke of was platted via Plat Cabinet 17, slide 150 to 151. That goes back to a Berkeley County file number of 2102, so it has a couple of years it's been platted, and it very clearly says that Lot 38 is intended to be a stormwater management lot. I can't imagine that a stormwater management lot would be created that is contiguous to proposed Lot 37 that's on the Fox plat, proposed Lot 39 that's also on the Fox plat, if it wouldn't be the purpose of Lot 38 stormwater to provide stormwater controls for the lots that are contiguous to it. I don't have any history in terms of the other comments the gentleman made with regard to the lack of sediment controls, but certainly our plats, as all plats do, reference that the final plat is in general conformance with the approved preliminary plan for the community. And we wouldn't be able to put that statement on there if in fact this wasn't compatible or in general conformance with. In order for Fox to put a professional seal on here, we do have to do on-the-ground survey.
Have you already done it?
Yes, I wouldn't be here this evening.
Well, it's not done unless you just did it this morning. It wasn't done before.
Mr. Johnson?
He needs to go outside.
I'm not sure what else I can add other than
He's gonna keep interrupting.
Yes.
Clarification for everyone. Right now, the county holds a letter of credit from Mr. Smith for $371,100. That covers all of the work that's been done out there for quite some time. That also includes these extra lots. Part of this roadway is partly already done from this final plat we gave credit for, but all of this is covered. I also, when I received these complaints, I had stormwater inspectors go out. They went out on July 9th and subsequently last Thursday. There's several pictures of silt fencing in here. I mean, there was a couple of blips on the radar, but nothing that I don't see on every other stormwater inspection throughout the county. Mind you, from last Thursday, we have had rain almost every day, and what is on here is minor compared to what we have been issuing NOVs all week like candy. So that didn't rise to this level, so I can submit these to you. It didn't come in time before this got into the packet. But I can submit both the letter of credit that we are holding currently from United Bank, and he will have to adjust up another, what was that, $60,000? $28,000. This will get increased again. And we've also been working with Fox Engineers as well as Mr. Smith. A lot of this area is already complete. The roadway's done. It's there. The ditches are there. A lot of this can be pulled out of the bond and given back to him. We've encouraged him to come in. You know, once we got this plat approved, the process was to get the previous sections as built and bring that stuff in and let us move it off the books, as old as it is. And they can plat up the rest of the subdivision basically with the money that's all that they're, you know, getting credit for. So I really haven't seen any issues out there, so I'll leave these for you all.
Okay, this is a public hearing. Questions or comments from the public? Mr. Johnson, you've
Okay,
already
upset.
spoken,
I don't
okay?
think anybody else is.
Well,
Okay.
we have to give them an opportunity, okay?
We're gonna be here all night. At this rate.
Is there anyone that wishes to speak regarding Bellwood, Section 3, Phase 2? Okay, let the record show that there's no additional comments from the public.
Make a motion, close the public hearing.
Second.
All right, I have a motion by Mr. Lewis, second by Mr. Hardy, to close the public
I have
hearing.
one more question. I have one more thing.
Well, you'll need to address some of these things with our legal counsel and with our county
They
engineer.
wouldn't, but they didn't put bond up to them 2 lots. 2 lots on there are not bonded.
Sir, okay,
And there wasn't no fence. That's developed.
Sir?
No fence at all.
sir? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. You need to talk to the staff
I'm
during,
not talking, but how can you plat something that hasn't been surveyed?
well, you
Land
can't
hasn't
do
been
it now.
surveyed.
You can't do it tonight, okay?
But now you're proving it. and it-
He needs to go. He
Sir?
needs to go.
Okay, the next public hearing is Southbrook, Section 2.
No, we need to approval on this
We
one.
gotta-
Oh, I'm sorry,
we gotta
I'm
make a
sorry,
motion.
I'm sorry.
Or not.
Okay, I need a motion then to approve or disapprove.
Make a motion that we accept staff recommendations for final plat approval contingent on receipt of surety in the amount of $28,560,000. Said plat to be released on receipt.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Goff. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, I'm sorry, Southbrook, Section 2, Phase 7A.
Yes, this is a request for final plat approval. The project is Southbrook, Section 2, Phase 7A, lots 146 through 161. The file number is 2503-085, tied to 2407-204 and 2205-136. The developer is Chandler's Glen LLC, and the engineer is Gordon. It's located in the Mill Creek District, Map 3, Parcel 9. The site is on Shiley Road, 0.3 miles north of Hatchery Road. The project proposes 16 residential lots on 1.13 acres to be served by public water and sewer. The final plat meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance 2009. Therefore, staff recommends final plat approval contingent upon receipt of surety in the amount of $123,000. Plat to be released upon receipt of surety and signed developer's agreement.
Okay, do we have anyone to represent the project?
My name is Mark McDonald. I'm with Integrity Federal Services, representing the developer.
Thank you. Okay, this is a public hearing. Questions or comments regarding Southbrook, Section 2, Phase 7A?
If there is no one, I move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Let the record show that there is no comment from the public. I have a motion by Mr. Goff, second by Mr. Gant, to close public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Planning Commission members, do you have questions of Mr. McDonald or of the staff?
Hearing none, Madam President, I make a motion to accept final plat approval contingent upon receipt of surety and signed developer agreement.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Bush,
Second.
second by Mr. Goff. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the next public hearing is Hatchery Road Substation.
Yes, this is a request for concept plan advancement. Excuse me, the project is Hatchery Road Substation. The file number is 2505-157. The developer is First Energy Corporation. The engineer is Kleinfelder Incorporated. It's located in the Mill Creek District, Map 7, Parcel 4. The site is located on the north side of Sulphur Springs Road in Inwood, West Virginia, approximately 2.26 miles east of State Road 51. The project proposes a substation on 7.25 acres. On June 27, 2025, County Engineer Doug Smith deemed the above-mentioned project compliant with the subdivision ordinance 2025. The concept plan meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance, therefore staff recommends advancement of the concept plan to the detailed site plan stage.
Thank you. Do we have anyone to represent the project?
Josh Krebs with Kleinfelder.
This is a public hearing. Questions or comments regarding Hatchery Road substation?
There are no comments. I move to close public hearing.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Goff, second by Mr. Gant to close public hearing. No comments have been made. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is now closed. How about you, Planning Commission members? Do you have questions?
There are no questions. I'll make the motion. We accept staff recommendation and advance the concept plan to the detailed plan stage.
Second.
Have a motion by Mr. Gant, second by Mr. Bush, to accept staff recommendation, and that is to grant concept plan and detailed site plan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. The next project for public hearing is Long John Silver's.
Yes, this is request for concept plan advancement. The project is Long John Silver's. The file number is 2409-286. The developer, LJS OPCO 1, engineer EADS Group. It's located in the Opequon District, map 6, parcel 1.16. This site is the existing Long John Silver's location at 2035 Edwin Miller Boulevard. The developer is proposing the demolition of the existing restaurant and construction of a new 2,220 square foot Long John Silver's restaurant. On March 3rd, 2025, the developer was granted a waiver to Section 801.6.2 of the Subdivision and Land Use Ordinance 2025, requiring parking areas and drive aisles to be a minimum of 8 feet from all exterior property lines. On June 27th, 2025, County Engineer Doug Smith deemed the above-mentioned project compliant with the Subdivision Ordinance 2025. The concept plan meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance, therefore staff recommends advancement of the concept plan to the detailed site plan stage.
Okay, do we have anyone to represent the project?
Dave Muse, Director of Operations, Long John Silver's, OPCO 1.
What is your last name, sir?
Muse, M-E-U-S-E.
Okay.
Any hush puppies?
Not today.
This is a public hearing.
try.
Questions or comments regarding Long John Silver's?
If there are no public comments, I move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Let the record show that there is no comments. I have a motion by Mr. Goff, second by Mr. Gant to close public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is now closed. Planning Commission members, do you have questions of the applicant or of the staff? How big is the current?
I believe it's approximately the same square footage.
Oh, really? Okay.
Hearing none, Madam President, I make a motion to advance concept plan to detailed site plan.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Bush, second by Mr. Gant to accept staff recommendation and as to advance the concept plan to the detailed site plan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The last public hearing is Cardinal Point, Section 8.
Need to recuse for conflict of interest.
Okay, let the record show Mr. Gant has a conflict and is recusing.
Okay. This is a request for concept plan approval. The project is Cardinal Point, Section 8. The file number is 2505-166. The developer is Panhandle Homes, and the engineer is Fox and Associates. It's located in the Falling Waters District, Map 10, Parcels 1 and 1.1. This site is located along the west side of St. Andrews Drive and contiguous to the existing Cardinal Point community. The developer is proposing 442 residential lots, which consist of 184 single-family, 72 villas, and 186 townhouse, on approximately 128 acres to be served by public water and sewer. No waivers or exceptions have been requested. On July 7, 2025, County Engineer Doug Smith deemed the above-mentioned project compliant with the subdivision ordinance 2025. The concept plan meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance 2025. Therefore, staff recommends approval of the concept plan and advancement to the detailed site plan stage.
Do we have anyone to represent the project?
Steve Sianovich with Fox and Associates, representing the project and the applicant.
Thank you. The public hearing, questions or comments regarding Cardinal Point, Section A. Sir?
I purchased a lot.
Name?
Robert Fitzpatrick.
Okay. And where do you live, Mr. Fitzpatrick?
I'm sorry?
Your address, please?
743 Otero Lane, Hedgesville, West Virginia.
Okay.
I purchased a lot there last late August from Ryan Homes. And I looked at several different developments throughout the panhandle of West Virginia because I'm from Rhode Island. I wanted to be near my daughter. So I retired from the police department. I came out here, and Ryan Homes sold me a lot at 743 Otero Lane. With a promise and a note, and I even paid extra for it, stating they would not build behind me. It's cornfields. Behind the cornfield is mountains. North Mountain is one of them. Like I said, I don't care about the $10,000, but the only reason I developed there and built there was for the privacy. I had a deck built on the back of the home, acres of cornfields followed by mountains, which I believe to be the Appalachian Trails. So my argument here today is, how could somebody get away with that? Telling me that, no, that's it. The farmer behind is not selling the property. Your home is it on Otero Lane. There's no building behind you. And I have a concern with that. And I got the paperwork here to prove it. They even charged me extra for the lot, the premium lot.
Okay.
Now, this is Ryan Homes. You said Panhandle Homes, correct?
I'll answer the commission.
Okay. $10,000 for a premium lot, and that's mine right there. 212, lot 212, prior to the address being established. So, what was the deck homes in Inwood that I liked a lot more than Ryan Homes? A lot sturdier built, better quality home. And this mountain view and these open fields behind me was my deciding factor to retire early and move out here. So I'd like to know what kind of recourse I have. That's misrepresentation. You can't do that.
What was their declaration of a premium lot?
$10,000.
No, but what did they describe as a premium lot? What was in writing as a premium lot?
I got it right here. Backs up to all farmlands, $10,000 actually, which that's not a problem with me. He had sold that lot, but I would have never built there originally. I would have never built there if I knew homes were being built behind me.
Was you told that
I
property
went there.
Was you told that property was in farmland protection? Was there anything?
Yes, I was told that the farmer, quote unquote, from Mike Bauer, who was the sales rep for Ryan Homes, I was told that they will never build behind you. The farmer will not sell the land, and you're all set. So I paid the extra $10,000 premium. I was happy with my decision, and then I hear about this 3 months after I closed. So it's just disheartening for anybody who makes that move from Rhode Island to here to be near my daughter and watch my grandkids grow. Now I'm being told they're building 100 family homes directly behind me. So
I could see you're being upset about that, but unfortunately, there's nothing this commission can do about that. I believe that your misunderstanding or your being upset is with the people that sold you the property.
Correct.
You know, the
Oh, no.
properties change hands, people pass away, children take over farms. You know, maybe granddad didn't want to build houses on it, but maybe grandson says we'll sell it and build houses on it. So
Could I retain an attorney to fight this, or do I have that right?
I couldn't answer that question.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch what you said.
I have no recourse for this whatsoever?
I would think that you would have some recourse.
I thought so.
With Ryan Holmes,
Ryan Holmes.
whoever gave you that information.
All right,
That's just my opinion.
okay.
I'm not legal counsel. Legal counsel might want to,
I would just advise
All right, I appreciate your time, thank you.
thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, anybody else wish to speak?
My name's Gregory Hutchins, live at 445 Perspective Place in Cardinal Point. I understand that that some newer buildings are going in. The egress will be onto St. Andrews Drive, if I'm not mistaken. I travel Hammond's Mill almost every day, and also through that intersection of St. Andrews Drive. It's kind of an odd intersection if you know it. It comes at an angle, and it has two spurs. So within a span of 300 feet, you've got basically three intersections. It works fine now. People are used to it. We're having, obviously, more traffic coming onto St. Andrews and coming south to get to 81. Also, we also have Ryan Holmes building Burwell, which is going to take St. Andrews Drive coming north to get to I-81. So in time, that intersection is going to get interesting. I also understand that that intersection is a Civil War site. So you just can't, widen it, put traffic lights, and do all kinds of things right now. So as a member of the public, I just wanted, for the record, that as of this date, I'd like some, whatever this body can do to say, okay, in the future, let's get this intersection safe and accommodate the future traffic. Because right now, it's like, well, I don't want to deal with it because it's Civil War site, and we've already done the traffic study and everything's fine now. I just officially want it noted that whatever this group can do going into the future, I want it noted. Thank you.
Sir, I can address that as the
thank you.
As a representative of the county commission. I will tell you that is one of 5 intersections that the county commission is working with the West Virginia Department of Highways and the governor's office to try to come up with a solution. We understand the future growth that's going to be in that area of 901 coming off of the Spring Mills exit, and that very strange intersection there. I'll tell you, me and my wife came there the other night to go to Hedgesville, and we have concerns over it too. So I will tell you that it's on the radar. All 5 commission members are, that's one of the intersections that we're very concerned about, and we're working with the governor's office and the West Virginia Department of Highways to try to come up with some type of solution for that.
Sweet. Thank you very much.
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate it.
Thank you for coming tonight.
Never. Short and sweet. Hey, it's Joe Newcomer at 71 Porch Light there in Cardinal Point. May I ask why he recused himself, why he left the meeting? What's the conflict?
You'll have
I
to
think that
ask-
should be public knowledge, so I'm curious what that is.
You'll have to ask him.
Well, he asked you for permission to leave and you gave it, so
I
what's
did
the
give him
conflict?
permission to leave due to conflict
Well, can we bring
of
him back in
interest.
and ask him what the conflict is?
Sir, he's recused himself from it.
Why,
That is
why,
always-
why did he recuse himself? It's a simple question. Why did a member of the board recuse himself from this conversation? I'll wait for an answer. I'll wait here for the 5 minutes. Why did a member of this board recuse himself from this conversation?
So let me answer.
Simple question.
I'll answer
Due
your
to a
question.
conflict
We,
of
we,
interest.
we are all volunteers.
I
We all
understand.
have lives outside of here.
Don't argue that. We all do.
I'm a contractor by trade. I'm
Mm-hmm.
a painter. I paint houses, and I paint office buildings, and I paint restaurants. So from time to time, there may be a project that comes in here that I may have had future notice or had notice of, and maybe I was going to be a bidder, or maybe I was a bidder. So I would ask, Madam President, I need to recuse myself from this. Mr. Gant is in the excavating business. Okay? His family has been excavating for a long time. He no longer works for that company, but he's in that business. He may consult for that business, and he may be involved in some way in the project that could be in the past or could be in the future. So he did the absolute right thing. He recused himself from it. There's no other way.
But you're speculating as to why. I want to know why.
I told you, the gentleman is in the business. He may have prior knowledge or future knowledge of something that may go on in that project. He's recused himself. That's the only answer you're going to get. You can
You're
stand there for the rest of your 5 minutes
hypothesizing
with
what
that.
his reason is. You don't know what his reason is.
He doesn't need to go to detail to tell you exactly what his business is. He just said he recused himself. I don't know what else you'd want him to do.
I love the open transparency of this committee.
No. The gentleman recused himself. I don't know what else you'd want him to do. You want him to open up his portfolio and show you what he's been doing for the past year?
Okay, is there any other questions from the public?
Pamela Brenes, Lamboy, 563 Otero as well. My question is actually, are there any plans for schools? Because you're saying that we're going to add 400 plus homes. Our neighborhood has many, many children of all ages, and I know as of now, the schools are just ripping at the seams. There's no space, nothing has been, segregated for school for future sites or anything. The Spring Mills campuses are overflowing as well. So is there any future plans for additional schools? There's only 4 high schools in the county, and that's, I come from Montgomery County, which we had a little bit more. So it's a little scary to add all of these sites where families are coming in, but there is no plan for schools.
Yeah. Well, we cannot tell the school board what they need to do. There is in our packet a letter from Mr. Schooley, who is the Deputy Superintendent of Operations, stating some, I guess we'll call them an analysis. There's also in our packet, which you've had sent to you, Mr. Henry's response to Mr. Schooley. There are additional schools being planned, but I can't tell you when they're going to be built because we have no control over the school system.
So if I may follow up, is there public information to see where these schools possibly are being built?
You can probably go to the Board of Education's website.
But you would still be approving that today without any information of whether or not schools will be being built?
So I'll address that again. West Virginia is a little different than what Montgomery County is.
I would
okay?
assume so, yes.
So no, listen, so West Virginia, the counties are not responsible for schools. They're not responsible for roads. West Virginia is set up a little different where the schools are run at the state level, the roads are ran at the state level. The counties are, we're in charge of the police, the fire, EMS, building codes, and those type of things. But the schools fall under the purview of the West Virginia State Legislature, and the West Virginia, they have their own entities in the state, and so does the West Virginia Department of Highways, are their own entity. We are all separate from one another, so there is some integration between this commission and the West Virginia Department of Highways with our engineer Doug. They work on entrance permits and those type things. The county would have to independently go to the state to ask for roads to be expanded and to be fixed. The school board works completely independently on its own. They generate their money from the state. That money comes from the state level. Not some of your property taxes goes toward the schools, but we don't implement that. The county doesn't implement that. The school system is its own private entity. So I feel that they have money to build schools. They passed a bond not too long ago, and they're sitting on quite a bit of funds.
Went up this year too in our property
taxes. Sure, right. So and also there will be an impact fee that's being implemented in the near future. So all new residential homes that will be built, there will be a portion of that will go to the school board to use that money towards the schools. So I think that we're in a balancing act here. I mean, we know we're behind a bit. We've had substantial growth, very quick growth in our county. And, but everyone is pulling the horse in the same direction. But we don't have any direct oversight of the schools. The schools are aware of the projects, and the schools are aware that they need to build some schools. But there's a new elementary school going on in Marlow. They're building a new elementary school down there that was going to take some of the pressure off of Spring Mills. And there's talk of a new high school being built in the next couple of years. So they're definitely moving in the right direction. We just haven't been able to get those assets implemented as quickly as we'd like to. But the school board is very transparent. If you'd like to call them or talk with them,
I just haven't seen anything online of like
Yeah.
future projects or anything, so I'm just curious as a parent, you know, is my child gonna be one of like 1,500 who's gonna just slip through the cracks and something like that? Which
And-
is
and
not
you-
ideal when
Sure, and you should be concerned about that.
continue to
Mhm.
approve more lots and more homes, but all the other aspects of it are not being addressed. But
Right.
I understand that they're
Yep.
separate.
And we have addressed that with our impact fees, and the school board has addressed that with their bond issues, so raising money through their bond. So I know the schools know that they need to catch up. It's just, the whole county's playing catch up. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the public?
If there are none, I move to close the public hearing.
Okay, let the record show that there's a motion on the floor from Mr. Goff to close public hearing.
Second.
Second by Mr. Bush. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is now closed. Planning Commission members, do you have questions of Mr. Sionovich, or perhaps Mr. Sionovich would want to answer some of the questions that came from the public?
I'd be happy to. The first gentleman that spoke, of course, the applicant this evening is Panhandle Homes of Berkeley County Incorporated. The gentleman that spoke initially purchased his home from Ryan Homes. Therefore, the applicant really has no control over what that seller may or may not have told a potential buyer. So I'm afraid I really can't comment on that, other than the comment that I just made. I brought a select sheets from the traffic study that was made a part of our application for this concept plan. And Linda, if I could pass these out to the commission members.
Thank you.
What I passed out simply select sheets from a pretty extensive report that was filed with the DOH in February of this year. Now, the first page of the document just tells you who authored it, which is Street Traffic Studies Limited, or Street Traffic Studies Limited. They do quite a bit of traffic study work in Berkeley County. The second page of the document talks about the recommendation that was derived or taken from this report, and it really talks about making a contribution to the DOH for a potential further study and improvements to the 901 St. Andrews Drive intersection that the other gentleman spoke of earlier. And on the last page of the document that I passed out, the traffic study that's currently under review by Division of Highways is proposing a roundabout at that area to help, alleviate the traffic congestion and the oddity of the geometric design of that intersection. As far as the gentleman spoke about a Civil War site, I mean, we're all aware of the plaque there, and I researched it several years ago through a gentleman I know that's very active in Washington County, Hagerstown, Civil War historian. And I'm not sure that's necessarily a site, but an area that identifies where an activity may have occurred. It may not be that very spot, but again, I can't speak to that in greater detail.
And we may be able to find some of the information, because the Hoax Run new park is open, and that park has some of the Civil War history from that area, and Commissioner Catlett knows more about that than I do, but that new park has been open, and we may be able to work with the Battlefield Association that we've been working with on that park to relocate that plaque or that monument, or just to find out exactly what happened there and where exactly it happened and when it happened.
Again, I don't remember the details, but
Yeah.
I think it was just an area to memorialize where an activity occurred in the
Hoax on
general
battle,
area.
Yeah.
We owned that. It was
Yeah.
called Stumpy.
We know who you are, but will you recognize yourself for the public?
Alan Henry with Panhandle Homes.
Thank you.
We owned that area that he's talking about that has that battlefield placard at it. And we donated to those guys back when we did the Walmart project. The Battlefield Association came to us and wanted a place to put a plaque. And we got Walmart to donate the money to pay for what they wanted to do there. We gave the land, and Walmart paid for the plaque. They gave them $6,000, I believe, to create that. So there was no, I mean, other than a place to put that plaque, if that has to be removed for that roundabout, there was nothing there of any type of battle that actually happened right there. It was just a place to put that plaque.
And that Hoax Run Park would be a perfect place to relocate that to.
There was also another question raised with regard to schools. Now, I'm not sure this is official from the Board of Education, but I was left with the understanding that in the Marlow area, there's a new elementary school and a new intermediate school proposed. Can't tell you when they're going to come online, but I did hear that from Mr. Smith just said 2028. And also, I don't know if you had an opportunity to read through the information that Justin, with the Board of Ed, provided to Justin Henry. There were a couple, I think the initial correspondence with the Board of Ed and the Planning Commission made a comment about, I'm paraphrasing, that significant impacts. And then after we questioned, how did you determine significant impacts? Then the follow-up correspondence that came from Justin Schooley was worded somewhat a lot differently than what the initial, I don't want to say form letter, but it certainly read like a form letter. And also Mr. Hardy mentioned impact fees. I don't know how that money is going to be distributed at this point, but that's another way where schools could potentially be funded.
Just to reiterate on what Mr. Sianovich said, I was a bit taken aback by this letter from the Berkeley County School Board. I thought that was a bit of an aggressive approach. And as we've had conversations here before with the schools and the impact fees, and we've talked about the new students that are coming to our schools and coming to our county, and the new students that we'll put into the schools, just because we have growth coming here, one, doesn't mean that that new growth will have children. Two, it does not mean that those children will attend public schools. There are a lot of different alternatives to education right now, with that being private schools and charter schools and virtual schools. There's lots of different choices out there right now for parents to make. And listen, most percentage of children do go to public schools, but we are seeing more and more children that hate these alternative type schooling, whether it be homeschool, charter schools, whatever it may be. So sometimes just because we have X amount of homes doesn't mean we're going to have X children. I think if you go back and look at the records of Berkeley County and the growth of our schools and the growth of our students, you will see that a lot of people that are moving to Berkeley County are people that do not have children, that do not have school-age children.
I think the rebuttal to our inquiry to the Board of Ed that resulted in an email that Justin sent kind of took that approach. He kind of backpedaled. Well, maybe backpedaled's not the correct word.
I think backpedal is the correct word.
Are you finished with what you?
I don't think I have anything further unless there are specific questions that any of the Planning Commission members may have.
If not, I'm ready for a motion.
Madam, are we still in public hearing?
Oh, no, we closed the public hearing.
We closed public hearing.
Just by way of a comment, really to follow up last meeting, I'm on record indicating that I believe that the input of the Berkeley County Board of Education is critical to the work of this commission, because I think these reports and information about saturation of schools are essential for this commission to analyze what are we doing with the comprehensive plan? How does this development align with that? I think I need to point out where progress is going well. And in this case, there was the alarm raised by the Board of Education, and I have to commend the developer for being proactive to these matters and identifying for this commission and the Board of Education that there is actually additional capacity for schools planned in this specific area. And I'll also have to commend the developer for being proactive not only to my inquiry, but even before that, as far as transportation patterns within the community to take bus traffic off the main thoroughfare and route it through the neighborhood. For those reasons, I think we need to point out where the process is working well. And here, there was some intense back and forth, intense isn't the right word, intentional back and forth between the developer and the Board of Education and staff, I'm sure, that I think is resulting in a good outcome here. So just by way of a comment, I appreciate the developer for being proactive on those matters.
Thank you for those comments.
Well, in the years that I've been involved with the Planning Commission, we have always alerted the Board of Education with every proposed subdivision. And only in the last maybe year, maybe not that long, have we ever had any kind of response from the Board of Education, which is encouraging that they're paying attention to what we're doing now, 20 years later. So it's a big project. And I think that the Board of Education kind of came off as a form letter. And Mr. Henry responded to it, and then it's up to this commission to sift through the information and determine what action is to be taken. So that's all I have to say. I'm ready for a motion, if there's no further questions.
Make a motion, we approve the contingent plan and advance it to the detailed site plan.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Lewis, second by Mr. Goff, to accept staff recommendation, and that is to advance the concept plan to the detailed site plan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried unanimously.
Thank you.
Okay, does somebody want to get Mr. Gant? Okay, preliminary plan approvals, Ridge Road water tank.
Yes, this is a request for preliminary plan approval. The project is Ridge Road Water Tank. The file is 2412-386. The developer is the Berkeley County Public Service Water District. Engineer is Fox and Associates. It's located in Hedgesville District, map 28, parcel 16.3. The site is located along the east side of Ridge Road South, approximately 1.10 miles south of Hedgesville Road. The developer is proposing a freestanding water tank on 1 1/4 acres. No waivers or exceptions have been requested. On July 9th, 2025, County Engineer Doug Smith deemed the above-mentioned project compliant with the subdivision ordinance 2009. The preliminary plan meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance 2009. Therefore, staff recommends approval of the preliminary plan.
Okay, do we have anyone to represent the project?
Steve Sianovich with Fox and Associates.
Okay, thank you. Do you want to say something, or?
I'm not sure there's anything I could say. This is really a need to benefit, the Berkeley County Public Service Water District. They put a lot of time and effort and thought into trying to get storage in certain areas of the county to benefit fire protection and domestic needs, for all their users or customers.
Yeah, I'm also the liaison to the Water Board for the County Commission, and this has been a long time coming. They've been working really hard on this, and they really need this for out on the ridge there for water pressure and to be able to really provide the water service that they need to provide. And the second one will be coming in up, I think that's going to be in like the Middle Creek area or something. There's another one needed in that area, so there's 2 of them slated, so.
Yeah, the other one you're referring to is going to benefit the like Business Parkway or Business Park Drive area.
Yes.
Route 11, Novak Drive, which we see a lot of development there.
Okay, if there's no further questions, can I have a motion?
Make the motion, we accept staff recommendation and approve preliminary plan.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Gantz, second by Mr. Goff, to accept staff recommendation. And that is to, grant preliminary plan approval. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, the last thing on the agenda is Estates of Tuscarora Phase 3.
Okay, I'm not sure if I see a typo. It says request for final plat, but I believe it's request for final plat determination.
Correct.
Okay, so the project is the Estates of Tuscarora, Phase 3, lots 25 and 27 through 60. The file number is 2506-195. The developer is Thatcher Holdings LLC. The surveyor is Roberts Land Surveyor. It's located in the Hedgesville District, map 40, parcel 2.4. The site is located on the right side of Thatcher Road, approximately 500 feet north of the intersection with Tuscarora Pike. The final plat proposes the development of 35 single-family lots on approximately 57.48 acres to be served by private well and septic. No waivers or exceptions have been requested for this project. On July 11, 2025, County Engineer Doug Smith deemed the above-mentioned project compliant with the subdivision ordinance 2009. The final plat meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance, therefore staff recommends final plat determination and advertising of a public hearing for consideration of final plat approval at the August 18, 2025 Planning Commission meeting.
Thank you. Do we have anyone to represent the project?
Steve Sianovich with Fox and Associates, and if you would correct the record or the staff report where Fox is the subdivider of record of this particular section. I believe Mike Roberts did preceding sections.
Okay. Planning Commission members, do you have questions of Mr. Sianovich or the staff?
I'll make the motion, we accept staff recommendation. Advertise for a public hearing for consideration of final plat approval on August 18, 2025 Planning Commission meeting.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Gantz, second by Mr. Goff, to accept staff recommendation, and that is to conduct another public hearing on August 18, at which time the final plat will be considered. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Staff, do you have anything regarding the comprehensive plan? I know there was a workshop on the 17th. I apologize, I wasn't able to be here because I was in transit from Morgantown. So is there anything? Brian, you have something?
Very simple. We basically had the rough draft submitted for chapters 1 and 2. We discussed it. We're supposed to regroup, meet back. Any additions or changes or recommendations will be done at that time, which is going to be in about 2 more weeks.
Is there a date set yet?
I don't have it with me. It's actually in the office, but there is a date set, yes.
Okay. Maybe we can get an email or something
Yeah.
telling us when that is.
July 28th, I thought Laura was going to send something out in advance.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. That sounds right.
Okay.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Goff, second by Mr. Gant to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Anybody against?